Alright, here we go. Again, another episode. This would be the third one today. Episode 10, let's do it. Talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for like the past, I don't know, man, less than a week or so. It's about my experiences going to the gym. Very basically with, specifically the classes and the coaching that I've been wanting to go through. So I'm going to split it up into two videos. This video is going to be the first day worth of coaching and setting up the apprenticeship in person, and then with that'd be the first class I have. That's going to be this video, and then the second video that I've got is basically that, but exactly that, but the second day, which I'll talk all about in the next episode, episode 11. I looked there because I could see the other two that I've uploaded today and all the other videos going up to day 417, which is there like halfway on the laptop. But it's now time to get into it. It's been a few days. I wanted to do it on the day or maybe the day after, so that when it was very fresh in my mind, but I will try and talk about it with as much detail as I possibly can. Same goes for the next episode that I'll make with the coaching session and CrossFit class that I did the day after. So this first session and class I think it was on the 16th, because today has been the second day when I haven't been to the gym, and then before that I went to a class, and then before that I went to a class. It must have been on the 16th. I'm certain it was. So I'll say it definitely was. So that's when this was going on. I went and just, if I remember correctly, I just went and booked. Oh no, in fact, I was talking to someone that works at this gym, and I did just book a normal gym session, and I said I'd be there at that time when the normal gym session started, and then that person got back to me saying that the coach is going to want to see me at this time. So I go in there and we get to talking. We talk about, it was kind of like an interview, or it could have actually been the interview for the apprenticeship. Basically, he being my coach was asking me about like why I wanted to do CrossFit and why I wanted to coach CrossFit rather than just general weightlifting, and to which I responded with a variety. I just like the look of and preferred the idea of being able to combine different moves together rather than just doing one move and then having to put the weight down and then move on to the next set. For example, you've got your bench press, you do the reps and then that's it, you move on to the next set, or you superset. But with CrossFit, you can go from one move to another move and combine the two together. You could do deadlift to front squat. And there's so much more variety with moves that you don't even need to combine if you don't want to. And I gave him that sort of answer. I forgot what I said word for word, but the conversation, in my opinion, it went well. I didn't go there with a plan to specific things to say, because I didn't even know that. I didn't really know what to expect. When I went in, I saw him talk to someone else. He came down, and I didn't think he'd recognise my face, seeing as I'd been there before. On the 16th, that was the second time I stepped in. So I didn't think 1 month after he'd recognise my face, but he did. And we got to talking, and he was just asking me those sorts of questions about why I wanted to do CrossFit in particular. I really enjoyed it, and within this talk, he let me know that we'd be doing, because of the gym package that I got, which included 4 coaching sessions, he said that we'd be doing the 4 coaching sessions and then the apprenticeship. And then I may or may not get the coaching job. He seems pretty relaxed, not too relaxed, but just the right amount about the job. Not stressed out and happy, but not manic. That's what I think about him personally. He's just right. I think he has a very... He's got a solid head on his shoulders. And I think learning it with him is going to be very, very, very beneficial for me, which I'll talk about in the next episode, because the what was it? I don't think I had... Yeah, I hadn't had my first one of those sessions yet that I bought within that package. So it was just, on this day, on the 16th, it was just us talking and getting to know what I'm looking, why I want to do CrossFit, and why I wanted to coach CrossFit in particular. He took me through some moves with the rings. I remember asking him if I'd actually be learning about the like how to use the rings and what sort of moves I could do on the rings during this apprenticeship, and to my surprise he said yes. I genuinely wasn't expecting that because of the internship form that I got. It was just weightlifting moves for I thought it was all weightlifting moves, but I asked him and he said yeah, we'll be doing gymnastics too, which I must say I actually am feeling quite happy about, perhaps like borderline excited for, well, when it's time to anyway. It's difficult, but I do enjoy it. I really liked how the gymnastics moves looked, and I'd really like to be able to go from this place that I'm at now, from absolutely sucking on the rings, to being able to do plenty of moves. I could see that day 417 thumbnail, and I could barely keep myself off the ground. It feels so tough, but with the coaching it won't be. I remember saying to myself the other day that I wanted to do plans for around the internship. I don't know if I said that on the 16th, but I did, and I was thinking of making that a separate video to this one and what I experienced in that first coaching session and then the second class that I had. But seeing as I've naturally just gone into it now, I think I'll talk about it. I wanted to plan and make workouts around the internship form, which, to be fair, I can bring up now and talk about what sort of moves that they were saying they wanted me to do. And I could see from that, yeah, it was definitely the 16th, I could see my coach got back in contact with me with what his understanding of what I said. He had a whole load of questions on there, on that document he sent me, and then my answers to them. but from his perspective. Here, I found it. Look, actually no, I won't show it, but I will talk about it. Knowledge of front squat, air squat, I don't even know what that is. Overhead squat, deadlift, sumo deadlift, high pull, I don't know what that is. I didn't even remember seeing that. I remember the squat part, but I forgot that it said front. It just remembered something with the letter F. And got push press, I don't know what that is, push jerk, clean. These things I don't even know. I thought it was like squat, deadlift, which I was right about, to be fair. But when I saw squat, I just remembered back squat. When I'd visualized the moves that they sent me in this document, it wasn't. I was wrong. It was not a back squat. It's a front squat. I don't even know what air squat is. Is that like when you'd hold the weight like this all the way up and then you squat? Maybe. That would make sense. I have seen people doing that. I think with like the cleans, then you could go all the way up from here to here and then squat. Maybe. Telling me to research strong lift and learn principles of internal and external torque. I don't know what the fuck that is. I did not read that far. I just skimmed through it and then I forgot. I'll definitely be able to get through all of this, but man, I skimmed through and then I forgot. But yeah, those are the moves that they're expecting me to do, and that I got sent before going there to this gym a second time. I got sent that on the 9th of February. I've been getting this opportunity up for a while. I didn't actually expect it to be this gym that I'm going to now, though. I thought it was somewhere else, but turns out it wasn't. But yeah, that was it. I didn't think this video would be I didn't think this video would be this interesting, but I see all these moves and think I don't even know what the fuck. But most of that was on there. I thought it was back squat. It wasn't. It was front squat. I remember the word front being there, reading it, but when I'd visualize it, I visualized the back squat. I remembered that more clearly than seeing front squat on the document that they sent me. Yeah, that might sound confusing, and when I look back at this, it probably will. But hey, that's how I remember stuff. Visualizations, thinking of them in like images or video in my mind. And to be fair, now that I think about it, I do make a lot of videos. This would be the 1307th video I would have publicly uploaded. So yeah, it does make sense. Wait, hold on, I can find out. Go into library. Yeah, it definitely would. As I have 1306 videos up publicly at the moment. That, in my opinion, is a lot less worthy of celebrating than the fact that I'm now starting to get these PT logs up as I want to. That, in my opinion, is a lot more worthy of celebration to me, because it's something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while now with these videos and these logs in particular, where I was talking about the coaching stuff. I've been wanting to do this for maybe less than a week now, and now that I'm teaching myself how to reward myself from doing this sort of stuff and how to move on from inactivity of setting something to do and then just leaving it there, not doing it, moving on from procrastination basically. Now that I'm teaching myself how to move on today from that sort of stuff, it seems like I'm allowing myself to get things done more in the way that I'd want, doing what I want to do. So I'll give myself a self high five and a self hug after that. I can breathe I can breathe a deep breath knowing that I'm alright, man. I'm up. It will be okay now that I'm focusing more on the stuff what I want to do. There was this video that I remember. I'm going off track now. There's this video that I remember from a channel called Dose of Society, and people talking about the advice that they give to their younger self, and they were saying not to worry so much. I certainly been doing that. Now that I think about it, I don't know what from, or what for. I'd have a lot of thoughts on the mind and kind of like acting out many situations as if they were real, daydreaming basically. But all of that stuff goes behind the scenes. People don't see that stuff, and I don't see I'm not sure that I see the complete extent as to how much of a negative the impact that could be having on my life, even though I might think that it does at the moment. I might not know to which to what sort of extent it does. But to get back on track with the video now, I'll talk about the class. I booked this class, and I thought I booked a couple. I booked this class on the 16th, expecting it to be like a CrossFit weightlifting sort of session. It wasn't. It was cardio with a little bit of kettlebell lifting, but it was a lightweight. I was expecting it to be a whole load of weightlifting CrossFit moves. Although there was one in there, it wasn't really that. I wanted to show this move so that I could practice it. So down to the floor I go with my sister's kettlebell. Never mind, I found it. I forgot if it was called a Turkish get up or a Bulgarian get up, but seeing as this is exactly what I was doing, I'm gonna call it that, Turkish get up. I saw one of the coaches do this, and I was so confused. I was getting, after enough tries, or after a few tries, it started to become easier and easier to do on the way up, but I didn't quite know how to do it on the way down. It just didn't make sense to me, but the guy who was coaching was really helpful for all of us that did obviously find it difficult to do the move. And he took us through how to do it both on the way up and on the way down, not only as a group, step by step, but also for the individuals that needed it and that were finding it tough to do even after the coaching, because you're not necessarily going to get it amazing the first time. So I've got to say, major shout out to him. He was really, I think, in my opinion, he was really, really, really helpful with coaching us through the exercises as a group and here and there as individuals if we needed it. He was very willing to teach me in particular, because he'd seen that I just come for the first time to his session ever. So I've got to say, major thank you and shout out to him. Within this workout, we got a whole load of other moves as well. We got the row, a run, so that's 3, including this Turkish get up. And then we had 3 others, I think. We had the ski, we had the bike, so we had the get up, we had the bike, we had the ski, we had the row, we had the run. And I remember there being maybe one other thing that we had, or that it could have been all of it, but very basically we had those moves and maybe other ones which we were doing for half an hour. Very specific and timed, and we were doing all of them for 1 minute 50 seconds and then a 10-minute change from the one exercise that we were doing to the next, and we just kept on going. I went to try and get my water, and although I could pick up my bottle, it just was not enough space for me to get a drink. we were basically just working for the whole half hour, and then after that we stretched off. It was very, very helpful. I think if I'm not mistaken, I had some back pain there, but it was very, very, very helpful. Well, no, it was very pleasant to do, and him coaching us through the Turkish get up, which I'd never seen before, that day was very helpful, I must say. Yeah. Other than that, that was it. I little bit of I worked up a little bit of a sweat. Found it tough. It was pleasant, and after the session, just being out at night, just on the way home, was really peaceful as well, I found. And to me, it didn't seem like I was out for too little, or too short a period of time. It was nice, for sure. And it's something that I've been wanting to do since that point, to which I have, and that actually leads me on to the next day, in which I was doing all of that CrossFit and exercise stuff, which I'll talk about later on in another video. So that's me out for now. That's what went on the 16th, and then yeah, I wanted to, if I'm not mistaken, go out of my way to improve my sleep at this point. Oh no, it was the next day on the 17th. Or at least that's when I made a video about it. And then on the 16th, I enjoyed being back and just being outside, chilling and seeing the stars, even though it's a bit blurry for me. It was pleasant, and I'd definitely be wanting to be out at doing that stuff at that time again, for sure. Yeah, I really did enjoy being out late in the evening when it was dark. I don't know what it was. Maybe I think it's just the peace that came with it, because it can be very loud at home sometimes, and it's just nice to have that silence, which I'm working toward. Not always having, but having more of. Just having a healthier amount of it. Because I think sometimes it's either too little, hearing conversations that I don't want to hear and that I'm not a part of. But because I live here, I'm immediately eavesdropping, even though I don't want to. Depending on when I wake up, like as soon as I wake up, I hear it. It's not fun. But it's being able to live by myself is something that I'm working on, and having more peace of mind and just living more healthily is something I'm working on. So I'll be all right, really. I don't need to worry, just as long as I keep on working on what I can control and going out my way to push aside what I can't is going to really help me. But anyway, I'm done for now, and I'll get on to making that next video, in which I talk about what happened the next day on the 17th. But other than that, that was it. I enjoyed it, man. I had a great time. But for now, I'm done. Peace. I had a great time then, and I definitely plan to have more of them.